Hi there, my name is Miha Jakovac. I'm .NET developer, DevOps engineer, and the author of QAToolKit. QAToolKit is an open source collection of libraries, tools, and scripts for helping developers, QA engineers, and others to perform some sort of QA and DevOps tasks. In part 1, we looked at the basics of QAToolKit's Swagger library. Today we will continue with the sample we worked on the last time, and if you remember, we talked about expanding the request filters. As you can see here, we're already using endpoint name whitelist, and currently we just want to see update bike endpoint. So this is an Swagger operation ID. Now let's clean this a bit. And let's see what else we have in the request filter. So first thing is authentication types. So both of those, authentication types and test types, are built-in filters, if you want to say it like that, because those are just a list of a string tags or placeholders that are found in the Swagger description parameter. So each Swagger endpoint has a description parameter. If you look in our Web API Swagger file, we see that now we also have version 2. Let's compare those two. So version 1, we have a description, get all bikes. In version 2, you see that we have a bit more going on here. So we have get all bikes, and then there are some test tags and integration test and load test. So basically those two, add integration test and add load test, are tags or placeholders that will be looked for when you're specifying a request filter. Now let's see how we can do this in code. So we started with authentication types. Now let's create a new list of authentication type enumeration, because we just want to have an enumeration here. So let's create a collection and authentication enumeration API key. Okay, so this will this is defining, hey, Swagger generator, when you look at my endpoints, filter out only those that have API key tag there. So we will see how this looks in a moment. But let's add one test type. Let's create something similar. So test type enumeration. And let's create, let's say, load test, right? So this request filter object now, it has those three filters specified, and only if endpoints that has all those parameters will be in the results. So in this case, so if the endpoint operation ID is update bike, if it contains API key, and if it contains load test tag, it will be shown in the results. Before we run that, let me just change this to Swagger version 2, and maybe just let's create some projection here so we filter out all the gibberish we don't want to show here. So let's see, new, so we can specify name x dot operation ID. Let's resolve this select. Okay. And let's also add a description so we can easy spot it. Alright, I think this looks okay. Let's hit F5. Yes, now we only see update bike because endpoint name whitelist contains that. So let's change this a bit. Let's just comment it out and let the generator show us all the endpoints that contain API key and load test tags. Let's hit F5. Now we see there are 3 endpoints. So new bike, update bike, and delete bike. Okay, this looks nice. Now, if you can just imagine, we could put more filters in this request filter object. For example, we can add a HTTP method filter. So let's say we just want to see post methods, or we just want to extract get methods, something like that. So that will come in the future. I have a plan for this. And I also plan a custom support for these filters. So you can specify your own tags or scripts or whatever you want to call it. And those will be then searched for in a description of a Swagger endpoint. So I think this is it for this video, and I hope you liked it. Have a nice day and see you in the next video. Bye!